the one thing that trumps all things is evoking an emotion from the viewer.
Your IQ drops down to half due to the brain scrambling.
Dana White, he's pretty rough around the edges.
We need to do just true emotional scoring in like 33 seconds.
Her content very specifically evokes intrigue.
Even if you share intellect, scholarly knowledge, no one's picking up on it. No one's going to actually think hard. And that's why you have to lean into emotion.
$60 million views on a daily basis.
View movement.
View movement.
View movement.
View movement.
Once you nail this thing we're about to talk about, it does become taking candy from a baby on social media. The biggest in the world have figured it out. We've tapped into it. There's a million different ways you can think about it because everybody's doing it on some level, whether they know it or not. But I want to break it down here on the podcast.
100%, yeah. For those of you that don't know, the one thing that you can do on social media that trumps all things is evoking an emotion from the viewer. When you are crafting a piece of content or even deciding on a topic for a piece of content, you have to know what emotion you're trying to evoke. Now, why do people that are the best in the world already naturally do this well? Well, if you look at like Mr. Beast or
Dana White, UFC,
yeah.
Becoming the number one combat sport.
Their personality already evokes that, right? It's
they
like,
do.
Dana White, he's pretty rough around the edges. Like the guy says a lot of things that a lot of people probably don't like. You can get angry watching his content, right? So he has a little bit of that, I don't really care what you think, I'm going to say it anyway type of attitude. And that evokes a certain emotion from the viewer. So for example, we have a client, Mary Bowden. Her content very specifically evokes a lot of, I would say, intrigue.
I saw a study recently that was talking about the engineering of the short form platforms, about how given knowledge, like given an information, first of all, you don't remember anything that you've seen in the last like 3 minutes when you scroll through 20 videos.
Yeah.
The second thing is what happens after so many videos, I think the number was 10 videos, your IQ drops down to half due to just the brain scrambling that's going on. And so even if you share intellect, scholarly knowledge that's good for people to know, no one's picking up on it. No one's going to actually think hard. And that's why you have to lean into emotion of the underlying element that's there. And I think that's really hard for people to kind of conceptualize, because where they're really going to pick up on it is on the 1 hour, 2 hour long podcast, but not in 30 seconds. We need to do just true emotional scoring in like 33 seconds. In fact, just because you mentioned Mary Bowden, I'm gonna play a video of hers. It's on work.viewmovement.com, and I like showing this to people because I think it really shows. There's a few different emotions here. I'm gonna go ahead and play this.
What did you end up thinking of the shot, the COVID shot?
It's horrible. It needs to be pulled off the market. It should have been pulled off the market a long time ago. I looked at my patients in the 2 years following the rollout of the COVID shot. 7% of my new patients were coming to see me for severe injuries. I've never seen anything like it with any other product on the market. If this were an antibiotic and you were seeing all these side effects, it would have been yanked off a long time ago. Normally, the FDA will put a black box warning on a medication if there have been 5 deaths. They will pull it off the market if there have been 50. According to VAERS, there have been 38,000 deaths from these COVID shots, and it's vastly underreported. So under normal circumstances, the FDA...
Okay.
I just gotta say, I have goosebumps just from listening to it. And I can't even see if I've seen it a million times. Every time I listen to that, I can feel it right now. But the emotion that evokes, like, what are you feeling personally?
It's strong, man. I got goosebumps all over me when she says there have been 38,000, and the lead up.
It built up perfectly to it.
There's actually 3 different songs that are playing. You don't even realize it. That breath that comes in is actually from a different song that was mashed into it. Yeah, if your hair's not standing up on your arm when you watch that video, there's something wrong, because let's look at the results, right?
100%.
Let's look at the results. It's 2 million views on Instagram. It has 120,000 likes. And some crazy odd, like 10,000 comments.
It's a really good engagement rate.
That's really good.
I mean, it means a lot of people that were watching it felt, that's what it is. That's the difference between, watching something and reacting or engaging with it and not, right? And so this is just immediately grabs your attention, and by the end of it, you're just like, it builds suspense. By the end of it, you're just like, give it to me, and then she drops it, like
She does.
It's great. So.
And then she does another payoff. So it has a dual payoff, which is not standard, but still,
Yeah.
there's another payoff that says that they're giving it to kids and doing all this stuff. And so then, she drives that mission home that
really
she set
driven
out
home.
to do. Yeah. And so that's a really good example of somebody, they actually have a lot of data and research behind what they're doing, but without emotion, I don't know how many people would have seen that clip, because people are just we're hungry hippos for a little dopamine hit. on there.
Dopamine, pure dopamine. That's all that matters. Like by the end of that, that's what it really is too. It boils down to that. You get the emotion, right? You build the emotion, but ultimately the reward is the dopamine.
Yep.
That's the reward for watching the video, because the hook should introduce what's going to happen by the end of the video. You should have some sort of a loop open in your mind where it's like the hook grabbed me and I'm kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. And then at the end of it, the key to all of this is rewarding that.
Yes.
And that's where a lot of people
The
miss, because if you
payoff.
don't reward the payoff correctly, no one's going to engage. They're just going to swipe right by. It's going to ruin your engagement on your video.
Yep.
That's it. So that's the difference, is like the payoff that was actually given. That's where we felt the goosebumps, and we're like, that's what's going to make people like, whoa.
Yeah.
I got to like follow this chick. I got to see what else she's talking about. I
Yeah.
got to like this. I got to comment, leave my 2 cents. So, yeah.
100%.